Hello, I'm Kristen Yorka, and thank you for joining me for this meditation video brought to you by Best Doctors Insurance. Best Doctors is more than just an insurance company. They truly care, and they want you to be there, present for your life. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to practice being present. Now, the reason meditation is called a practice is because it's very rare that a person would sit and immediately be carried off into a Zen-like state. More likely, a person sits and practices being aware of the thoughts that are constantly running just below the radar. Those thoughts that many times are running our lives when we're on autopilot. So let's practice. Find a comfortable way to sit, either on the ground or if that hurts your back or hips, find a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, please place your feet on the ground and keep your ankles uncrossed. Then find a comfortable place for your hands. As you get comfortable, I'm going to explain a little bit about this meditation. It's a simple one. All we're going to do is become aware. So every time a thought comes into our experience, we are going to acknowledge that it's there. And then we're going to name it. So if it's a dog barking, we're going to acknowledge the sound and think dog barking. That's step 2. Step 3 is to, as easily and as quickly as possible, to let it go. Now, sounds are sometimes easy to let go. What's a little harder are the things that we worry about. So if a worry comes up, we acknowledge it right away. And we name it. We name it worry. Don't go too much into the story. Not, I'm worried about XYZ, just worry. And then see if you could just release it. If you can, imagine it as the word, worry. And watch that word disappear off into the distance. Step 3. Now, step 4 is to wrangle your mind back to the sensation of your own breath. Where you feel that breath the most is different for each person. So that's going to be unique to you. So the process is this. We sit, we breathe, we watch our thoughts come up. And when we're able, we acknowledge that thought. We name it for what it is. Worry, planning, sounds, you name it. Then we seek to release it. We see that thought and we release it. We let it go. We don't try to push it or kick it away. We just allow it to go. We try not to create a story around it. We try not to get our claws into it. If it helps, we might even tell it, it's okay, I'll think about you later. But right now, I'm focusing on my breath. Once the thought is gone, you wrangle your mind back to the sensation of your breath wherever that is on your body. Make sense? Okay, good. So when you're ready, we will sit. Find a comfortable place for your hands, on your thighs, on your knees, or in your lap. I like to place my hands left over right with thumbs connected. Then roll your shoulders back. Make sure your ribs aren't jutting out forward. Kind of settle them back over your pelvis. But really elongate the lower spine by pressing your sit bones down and rising tall out of your sternum. Bring your chin back over your chest. And your chin is slightly tucked, almost as if you were looking down at the ground. And then decide if you'd like to take this meditation with eyes closed or eyes open. If you're new to meditation, you might want to take this practice with eyes open, focusing on one spot on the ground. And I'll tell you why. Because when we start out, it's very easy to get lost in our thoughts when our eyes are closed. Also to imagine, create stories, fall asleep. So if you think that might happen, it might be best just to look at one spot. But if you're comfortable, I welcome you to close your eyes. With eyes closed or focus on one spot. Just notice where you are. Begin to feel the ground beneath you. Notice what parts of your body are touching the ground. Then begin to notice all the space above your head. All the space to the ceiling, all the space, all the way to space. Then begin to notice all the space on both sides of you. Notice all the space in front of you and all the space behind you. Now feel yourself breathing into that space as you expand on every inhale and contract back to center on every exhale. Take a few breaths just to breathe into that space, doing your best to remain focused on the activity at hand. Now, as we breathe into all this space, notice if there's any part of your body that feels tight or constricted. Notice where it is. And I want you to imagine that in that space you have almost a tiny little lung. And every time you inhale, it creates space by expanding, and it releases and allows for some space as you exhale. If there's only one place that feels constricted, stay with that one place. If there's more than one place, take a couple breaths there and then move on to the next spot that feels a little tight and do the same thing. And then if it benefits you, take a moment to just take inventory. Take a body scan starting at the top of your head. Notice any parts that are still contracted. See if you can release them. If not, move on until you make your way all the way down to the bottoms of your feet. Now bring all your attention to your breath. Notice how the breath feels in your body. Now ask yourself, is there a place where I feel that sensation of breath the most? It could be the coolness of the air at your nostrils, the rise and fall of your chest, or the rise and fall of your abdomen. Pick the one place where you feel the sensation of breath the most and commit to anchoring your thoughts there. So that whenever a thought comes to disturb your peace, you're able to acknowledge that thought, name it, release it, and then come back to the sensation of your breath wherever that is on your body. We'll begin the practice in just a few breaths. We'll begin now, remembering that thoughts are likely to happen, but it is our job to acknowledge that they're there, name them, release them, and then as quickly and as easily as we can, return back to the sensation of our breath wherever we feel it the most. For the next few minutes, this is your only job. I will mind the time and let you know when we're done. If your mind has already gotten lost in thought, simply usher it back to the sensation of your breath with no further thought or judgment. Do this each time. remembering the practice, acknowledging, naming, releasing, returning. Continue to direct your thoughts back to the sensation of your breath. After the next exhale, let your mind wander. Let all the thoughts that have been wanting to come up. Watch them pass through your mind. But do your best not to get caught up in them. They could come and go, or they could stay for as long as they'd like, but without any involvement from you. It's almost like you're watching a movie. These thoughts are happening on the screen before you. Now release those thoughts as quickly as you can. Bring your mind and all your awareness back to the sensation of your breath, wherever that is on your body. And for the next few minutes, do your best to stay there. Once again, begin to practice. Acknowledging the thought, naming, releasing, and returning back to breath. Take one more deep breath. And at the bottom of your next exhale, slowly begin to open your eyes, closing your practice. I thank you for taking this time for yourself, for your family, and truly for us all. On behalf of Best Doctors Insurance, thank you.